Good evening everyone, DRBMiller here. I welcome you all to my gaming industry news. Thank you all for coming and hope you'll be excited to hear some of those bits of news that have arrived to our shores today. Indeed, we have some information on Destiny 2, on Battlefield 5, Spider-Man, and we have some very good news regarding Call of Duty Black Ops 4, as well as Hitman 2 and Fortnite. So, why don't we just simply jump in? First of all, for all of us, Destiny gamers, Destiny fans and lovers, we had some rather disappointing news from Activision. They indicated that Destiny 2 Forsaken has not met their expectations in terms of sales. So speaking during the latest earnings call overnight, Activision revealed that sales of Destiny 2 Forsaken have not really met the company expectations. The expansion did kill off the series' best character, and we think that perhaps this was one of the deciding factors. Activision Publishing's Cody Johnson said, "While Forsaken is a high-quality expansion with strong engagement and new modes of play, it did not achieve our commercial expectations, and there's still work to do to fully re-engage the core Destiny fanbase," he added, and that was reported through videogamer.com and gamespot.com. Both portals for the news we use every day that provide us with state-of-the-art access and indeed with some of the hottest of the press bits that come their ways. And we are obviously resorting to everything they report. In terms of the bigger picture, Johnson said that the publishing giant is looking to improve the pace of innovation as well as a cadence of in-game content for the Destiny franchise, in addition to finding new ways for players to engage and spend money on microtransactions. So that doesn't sound too good, spending more money on microtransactions. This doesn't just apply to Destiny, but also other series under the Activision umbrella. He did say, however, that players who are putting the hours into Destiny 2 are deeply engaged in the shared world shooter. Well, we have up to 20,000-30,000, so that is a very great number considering that the game has not come out last week. And we have obviously very many other games playing it on different platforms, particularly on PC, and through Bungie servers, literally worldwide. And as we know from our streams, everybody is engaging and really offering co-op and really connecting with our community members around the world, literally 24/7. So I'm not sure what the problem is, but Activision should be considering the number of people that are still engaging with the game on an everyday basis rather than just the sales of the latest DLC, which in fact is very good. And if you have not bought it, please do carry on and indulge, just like with every other bit of our Destiny world. He also said that we've not seen the full core of re-engagement in Destiny, which has kind of led to the underperformance against the expectations to date. Some players, they think, are still in wait-and-see mode, and if you're in and you're deeply engaged, if you're not, we're hoping the time to bring players back in and win them back. Well, I think this is a slight underscore from my experience of being in Destiny forums during the last few months. People are very engaged, and certainly we have a very large foundation, if you wanted, of those hardcore Destiny fans, where people are still playing it every day, conducting strikes and raids, discussing various aspects of how to conduct the best gameplay, how to reconstruct strategies. All sorts of things are being discussed in forums, online and elsewhere. So I'm not really fully in agreement with Activision on that, but again, they will be very concerned about the sales figures, as you know, because there is an enormous amount of money spent on online marketing, and indeed they will be looking for a certain return. I think it's extremely important for everybody to understand that the future of Destiny and any other bigger game will very greatly depend on the sales and the interest which is displayed for the new content, and we've been both blessed and privileged with so many different bits coming out of Bungie in the last 4 years, and we have to support that effort. I think that is very important to be understood as well. So I just like to say to everyone that if you have any means of supporting Bungie and Destiny developers, then please do, and you can find out on the different ways in which you can do that by accessing the forums, which are Destiny 1 and 2 forums through Bungie. Destiny Companion probably the best way to start, and do support the developer. They have provided us with an astonishing game, and we really want to see a lot more coming from them in the following months and years. And indeed, there is a rumour circulating that the works on, well, the preparatory works on Destiny 3 already have begun. So we've had no confirmation, the official confirmation from the developer, but somewhat what we have been hearing and what has been circulating through various social networking forums was indeed that the project has been given thumbs up, and considering how popular the game is still, I think we should be in no doubt that something will indeed be taking place sooner or later, and we will get some more news on when that works is likely to proceed. So we all know that Destiny 2 was released on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One in September of last year, with a PC version arriving a month later, so we're talking about more than a year, and Forsaken launched just a few months ago and introduced a number of new gameplay modes, such as the PvE against PvP hybrid Crucible based Gambit. So if you haven't tried it, do buy it, do download it, and then just simply jump in. And that is what we do with our Destiny world. We talk a bit and then we dive. Forsaken will be supported by a year's worth of content via the annual pass, while Destiny 3, as I said, is rumoured to be at in the early stages of development. We've heard that Sunset Overdrive PC achievements have popped up online. That's been reported by the Video Gamer as well. Insomnia Games have not made any formal announcement about the PC version of Sunset Overdrive, but we're pretty sure it is definitely happening at this point. Aside from a bunch of ratings popping up recently, the game's achievements have now reared their head, but all confirming a PC release. It's a bit different to the Xbox One version of the game, as the secret achievements are readily available from the start. You can see them for yourself on your sister site, Xbox Achievements. So for all of us, all of you, Xbox gamers, definitely check it out. This relates to Windows 10 version of the game, but Sunset Overdrive is also apparently set for Steam too, as the listing for the title has popped up there as well. The Quiet Man piped up with answered update. Looked at The Quiet Man. Have you checked it out? Have you seen it on PS4 or PlayStation Store? It looks very, very interesting. And it also provides us with the sci-fi stroke film noir type of atmosphere, which is very appealing to all of us. I love that kind of visual element. And critical mold adventure game The Quiet Man has received a new update today, adding voice and sound support. The Quiet Man features a deaf protagonist, can lip read, although this means that you, the player, is unable to actually hear anything during the game. It's a bizarre video occurrence and one that features some rather strange combat sequences to top it all off. Regardless, the new update allows you to take in much more of the story. And as you know, there has been a quite mixed, you could say even a poor reception of the game. But we can really disregard all of that if we like what we see. And I always advise everyone to get on the console and then have a good look through the trailers, through the developers' videos on YouTube, through everything that is being said about a particular game, and then take the decision. Decide whether you like it and whether you are likely to be enjoying it. And that indeed should be one of your first ports of call. In addition to that, once, if you don't want to buy it on the first day, what you can do is you can simply wait for the streamers to basically present you with the gameplay, and then you can obviously watch some of our channels and decide for yourself. In fact, on another bit of more or less this channel based news, I can tell you that I'm considering something of the kind. I think that in the near future I will have a section during the week for which I'll be introducing some of the new releases on PlayStation Now and also on maybe Xbox Game Pass. In other words, the games that are out there are underrated and that are receiving a kind of a scorching response from the critics, and obviously for us to pay attention and see whether they're as bad as they said, or whether they're as good as we expect them to be, or indeed discover once we get into the gameplay. So, watch your space. I'm considering also the section to start from probably next week, for which I'll be introducing the games that are accessible through PS Now and Game Pass, which means you can always immediately stream them or download them, and then enjoy and play at the same time, which is going to be, I think, of interest to many of our community members. As you know, these are subscription-based services, and it's always the best to have the good overview of what is available and what we can play at any given time. The benefit of which is obviously we do not have to go to our local stores to purchase a physical product. These games could be either streamed or downloaded and then obviously played straight away. So maybe we will have an interesting selection where our community members' views can be also voiced, and you'll be able to check out for yourself either in my live streams or indeed through the archive, which is on YouTube. Don't forget subscription for YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter and Twitch are always out there, and please do subscribe because you'll get lots of interesting news. And Twitter is really your main hub, and through my news feeds you will get information on what other streamers are doing, particularly those that are connected to me, and some of my online friends and community members, and also people who are running quite separate types of streams, which are not focused at all on perhaps a serious approach to gaming, but provide you with a lot of fun, a lot of interesting activities, such as turning up in various game-based costumes and be putting the makeup and all sorts, and definitely worth checking. In addition to that, the latest industry news from everything that's happening out there in the game industry, and then various other bits of announcements, to do with events, to do lots of things that are happening out there. As you know, the conferences had been exponentially rising. We have them now not just done in the US, in LA, but worldwide in smaller towns and cities where gamers are meeting up, sharing views, doing networking, and all of that really comes up on a regular basis on my Twitter. I really do a very thorough analysis of everything that comes in, and then in the course of the day you can access them with ease. So absolutely and most definitely do subscribe to Twitter, and you will be always kept in touch with everything that's going on in there. If you are a great film fan and you like watching flicks either on silver screen or at home, then you should subscribe to my other channel, which is called Film Dialogue, and it has a very, very busy Twitter, which also produces some of the latest news from the industry, and you can get everything there on the news as they happen. So it is both Daniel Gaming on Twitter as well as Film Dialogue, depending on what interests you pursue at any given time. Perhaps why not combine the two? And I stream on Rabbit as well. Currently I've not been streaming as much, but the Cinematheque, which I've had, will be up and running for next week, and then obviously if you keep your eyes peeled to the postings, you'll get your regular news on what kind of season I'll be running. Early in the year I was running a season of film noir, which was extremely popular. Then I had a season on John Crawford. I had a season on silent comedy, which was extremely popular. I had a season on rare animated films. They included Max Fleischer, rare Walt Disney, some of the early silent cartoons, and generally anything which was pre-code animation related things like early Looney Tunes and Richard Fleischer's early works, and all these kinds of wonderful short films. They was always come on playlists, and they played for quite a few hours. The most popular things I had were all-night marathons of silent comedy. People really enjoyed, on one hand, watching the comedians they are familiar with, like Lauren Hardy and Charles Chaplin, and people like Ben Turpin, Harry Langdon, Harold Lloyd, the comedians which are very, very well known. And then in addition to that, they will discover very many that have gone into the oblivion. People like Lupina Lane, people like Harry Langdon, people like, let me think, popular female comedians of that era that have been completely forgotten, unfortunately, by today. So watching them in live streams will indeed bring them to light, and it will bring them to your attention, which means you'll be able to see them again and again in the future. So, cut long story short, two different entities. One caters for the gaming industry, the other for films, and you can access them with ease at any given time. Right, we are back now to the news which are industry based. We've had some of those wonderful bits on Mass Effect yesterday, and simply I have to tell you, I cannot wait to hear more. Andromeda is now on 4K, accessible for Xbox, which is fantastic. And obviously I'm very, very excited about the release of Fallout 76 next week. A bit like Red Dead Redemption, we've been waiting for this game for quite some time. It looks astonishing on beta tests, and everything we've seen so far, so literally bring it on next Thursday, I think, or Friday. Whichever day of the week it is, we want that game out, we want to start playing it, we want to really indulge in our Fallout 76 open world. We have seen the Battlefield 5 launch trailer. It is astonishing, and we really want that game as well. And DICE and Electronic Arts have released it. Battlefield 5 isn't actually out for a few more weeks in terms of its general release, but EA Access and Origin Access players can get it on the action a bit earlier. As for the trailer itself, it's a Battlefield 5 launch trailer, and it is very, very much as we would expect it to be. Explosions, yelling, dogfights, destruction, all sorts of war games. And the DICE's World War II shooter is due out on PlayStation 4, on PC and Xbox One on November the 20th. So a few more, well, a couple of months, well, more than a week to go, 10 days or so. And the studio is planning extensive post-launch support for the game. That includes a Battle Royale mode, Firestorm, which is targeting a March 2019 release. And as you know, or as you probably have heard, the game will arrive with 8 multiplayer maps, although DICE have confirmed that in its paid currency isn't going to be available until after the launch. So yet another exciting game that will be coming out later this month, in addition to Fallout 76. As you know, the game is Battlefield 5, so definitely you can go to my Twitter and you can access on one of the news feeds that wonderful new trailer. We also heard that Spider-Man has a next DLC, and we had been given the release date. So the latest patch has revealed that Turf Wars, the second slice of DLC for Insomnia Games' acclaimed web-stinging character, will launch on November the 20th. Incidentally, that is the day when Battlefield 5 will be released as well. We got the information through videogamer.com, but also they were following Reddit, which confirmed that Hammerhead will be making an appearance as well. Butt heads with Hammerhead in the new DLC, The City That Never Sleeps, Turf Wars, available November the 20th in the PlayStation Store. So for all of us PlayStation gamers, well, plenty for us to do. and we are then likely to be getting it on the 20th. The third and final part of The City Never Sleeps arrives in December, and as you know, Spider-Man is exclusively proprietary type of product, launched on PlayStation 4 in September, and it has beaten God of War as Sony's best-selling first-party game of all times. And you know what? I can certainly tell you, I had talked to the technical support team during those days, I think it was about 2 or 3 days after the release, and I complained about technical problems that I had with the PlayStation server, and they said, you know, it's all down to the fact that everybody bought Spider-Man and everybody is streaming it right now, and therefore our network is completely overstretched and overloaded. And in addition to that, I can tell you the same thing was happening 2 weeks ago when Red Dead was released. So, well, we have to suffer for a day or two, but it is good to see that the big games are supported so well by the fans. I have to admit I'm a bit surprised about Spider-Man, considering some of the things which were said prior to the game release, but as you know, the gameplay is astonishing, the quality graphics and action sequences are mouth-watering, and you absolutely want to be in that world. You want to get in there and you want to play it as long as possible. I'd be interested to hear whether they'll release it on PC and on other platforms. We'll have to see. We also heard Battlefield 5 is targeting 64 players for Firestorm. So hopefully it will support 64 players for Battlefield 5 Battle Royale mode, which is called Firestorm. And Ryan MacArthur, who is the live service development director at DICE, said that the team wants to ensure Firestorm feels like it's Battlefield, although it won't be matching the likes of PUBG and Call of Duty in terms of player count. So the current target, he said, is 64 players. He conveyed that information to VG247. We got that through videogamer.com. And he said with Firestorm, one of the key things is that it needs to feel like it's Battlefield. So you really have to get a flavour of the game. I just want to say briefly hello to Ibdor and Scorch Destiny 2. Thank you very much, guys, for coming here, for watching my industry news broadcast. The broadcast today is a bit lengthier because we do not have a second installment. We've just got one news bulletin. And incidentally, today's been quite busy with the news. Lots of things are happening out there, and we are going to be focusing for a little while on those. And as we complete, we will proceed to our beloved Destiny 2 world, and you guys will be able to watch and join and talk and, all these niceties we always do when we have our Destiny streams. So just bear with us for a little bit, up to the point we get the news. So Battlefield 5 is due out on November the 20th for PlayStation 4, PC and Xbox One. And the game's single-player campaign will adopt the same war stories template as its predecessor, and features one chapter from the perspective of a German tank crew. Firestorm will not be available at launch, however, instead of rocking up in March as part of the Tides of War post-release date, so we'll have to be waiting for the Firestorm to come out a lot later. Sony has stealth-launched the quieter PS4 Pro, so some really console-based games. And we are really quite excited to hear that because, in fact, my PS4, which is fairly new, is quite noisy. And Digital Foundry has revealed that Sony has stealthily launched an updated version of the bit more expensive console model. The updated version of the high-end machine runs slightly quieter than the previous model, which was an updated edition of the original PS4 Pro, launched in November of 2016. According to the report, when testing God of War, the PS4 Pro recorded a 2-3 decibel reduction in comparison to the previous PS4 Pro model. It is more impressive than when stacked against the original version, a 6-7 decibel reduction in noise. Apparently the PS4 Pro ditches the 3-prong connector which was used in the original mode, and instead utilizes the same power supply seen in the PS4 Slim, Xbox One X and Xbox One. So you can see the changes will obviously be bringing a lot of good. while the console is not as quiet as the Xbox One X, it's still a significant step up. They even called it a discrete living room console. But if you're interested, you can also purchase that particular brand new, shiny, sparkling PS4 Pro model with the Red Dead Redemption 2 hardware bundle. In fact, I did see one of those today, and they look beautiful. So if you're interested in having a very quiet bundle in the office or at home, please do purchase that one, and you will get Red Dead Redemption 2 in addition to the console as well. More good news regarding Call of Duty Black Ops 4. The game is topping October's PlayStation Store sales in the United States and Europe. And Sony has confirmed the list of best-selling games on the PlayStation Store for October, with Call of Duty Black Ops 4 basically taking over the #1 place, and Red Dead Redemption 2 has been relegated to the #2 spot. The beloved military shooter claimed pole position in the US and Europe last month, with Red Dead Redemption 2 having to settle for second place in both territories. Things shake up a bit more after that, with FIFA 19 performing slightly better in Europe than in the US. And regrettably, Soul Calibur 6 didn't make much impact at all. It hit #8 in the US, but it didn't really even feature in the European top 10, which was really surprising. Red Dead Redemption 2 is doing incredibly well. And as we know, during the first 3 days it sold basically for almost $750 million. I think it was 775 million. It was just unbelievable, really, the amount of copies sold. And indeed, the Rockstar confirmed earlier this week that the game shipped 17 million copies in only 12 short days. So let's have a look at the chart. The chart for PS4, that's PS4 sales, PS4 store in Europe, as follows. #1, Call of Duty Black Ops 4. #2, Red Dead Redemption 2. #3, FIFA 19. #4, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. #5, Battlefield 1. No wonder Battlefield 1 was offered on a very, very low price recently to the PS Store, so it's really bigged up its sales. #6, Grand Theft Auto 5. #7, Marvel Spider-Man. #8, God of War. #9, The Last of Us Remastered. Beautifully done so, I have to say. Watch a lot of gameplay, absolutely amazing. Want to play it also sometime. Stream it as well. 10, Need for Speed Payback. So these are the top 10 sales in Europe. Are you excited? Are you surprised? Which one did you expect to be there? I'm certainly a bit surprised about Red Dead Redemption being #2. I mean, I thought it would certainly go right to the top, but it looks like Call of Duty on PS is performing better for some reason. But let's not forget Red Dead Redemption is selling a lot of physical products, so therefore this shouldn't be really the complete picture on its overall sales. So let's have a look at what PS4 store did in North America. Call of Duty Black Ops 4 is #1. #2 is Red Dead Redemption 2, so it's identical to the European chart. #3, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. #4, FIFA 19. #5, Battlefield 1. #6, Marvel Spider-Man. So if I'm not mistaken, I am mistaken. The first four are very similar, but the rest is not. #7, NBA 2K19. #8, Soul Calibur 6. #9, Castlevania Requiem. Symphony of the Night and Rondo of Blood. That is a very, very popular game on PlayStation. I don't know whether you guys are the fans of Castlevania, but it's been beautifully polished up, and it is definitely a game worth having, playing and watching. If you're not sure, just check out some of the streams on Twitch. It has been receiving a lot of good feedback and the fans are loving it. So absolutely yes. And number 10 is WWE 2K19. So lots of exciting games on those lists. And as expected, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Red Dead Redemption 2 and Black Ops, Black Ops 4, Call of Duty are really topping it. So we've seen also a trailer for Hitman 2, and it's sort of telling us that the assassin is becoming a bit more and more creative, and they have rolled out the official gameplay launch trailer for Hitman 2, giving us a glimpse at the various ways for which you can really hit your targets as Agent 47. So we always thought that Hitman was quite creative with his skills, but in this latest game he is somewhat enhanced, and he can do everything from whipping someone off a Cliff Spartan style to chucking ninja stars to squashing enemies with a massive beam by severing its support wire with a sniper rifle. As you know, yet another exciting game, that's the third one, scheduled for release on November the 13th, so that's in 3 days for PlayStation 4, PC and Xbox One. And there are some people on videogamer.com that have already seen gameplay or maybe even tried the game, and they're saying that it is very, very good. They have a lengthy review and they have, I think, a small video review on videogamer.com. So absolutely hurry to www.videogamer.com and have a look at the review, and you will see whether you like basically what is said about the game. The last bit of news is on Fortnite, and we've heard that Fortnite is passing a new milestone. It is still very, 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 very popular. The current players hit over 8 million. So basically they're pulling in an incredible 8.3 million concurrent players. And Epic Games Korea CEO Sung Cho Park has revealed that to Inven. And it's not really surprising, but Fortnite is pretty much the biggest thing on the planet right now, considering the number of everyday participants, and an impressive figure indeed. Epic didn't say when it hit peak or how long it lasted, but they said the figure is very accurate. And as you know, the Fortnite Battle Royale is free to play, although there is also a paid version in the shape of Save the World. And Epic launched a new update for the game earlier this week, and they added the new assault rifle into the mix. In fact, what I want to tell you was that presently you also have a pretty good bundle offer on Xbox, which is called a Fortnite bundle. And if you are a Fortnite fan and you want to own a new Xbox S console, some retailers are offering also the online subscriptions to, I think, Xbox Live and Game Pass, which are included in the bundle, and then for prices between $249 and $279 you can have everything at once. So definitely worth having a look and considering. A few other bits related to Xbox. As you know, Xbox is running a major event in Mexico City during the next couple of days, so it's a big kind of Mexico City adventure during the weekend. And they are going to be also making and streaming their brand new Inside Xbox, which is going to be done live from the conference, and everything, all the ongoings will be included. So I'm inviting you to watch that fantastic brand new episode of Inside Xbox tomorrow, and you will be able to get to know everything that is happening out there in that wonderful gaming world. They have very, very good participants, guests, and indeed the guys running the show. So I'm always there for the premiere, and I've been watching Inside Xbox from the day of its first episode, and it's always been a pleasure. The other important thing to note is that Xbox is offering everyone a free access to PUBG this weekend if you are an owner of your Xbox One, either S or X, or just the ordinary Xbox One, you can access it through Xbox Live, and you can play it for free the entire weekend, starting I think with 25 hours tonight. So if you are a PUBG fan and you want to, let's say, convert from your tablet or your phone to Xbox, or you want to compare the experience, well, now is the time. Log in and simply crack on for 2 days on the trot. Do stream that as well, and do share this experience, because we are going to be very interested to see how you find it. So lots of interesting things happening at the moment, as you could see, across the board in the gaming world, from PUBG offer for free on Xbox, through the big events in Mexico, through the new episode of Inside of Xbox, to all the game releases coming our way next week and in the next 10 days. So we are having plenty to do for sure. So this was the first part of our news bulletin. As you know, we are going to be looking at some special offers, and usually we start with PlayStation, because presently I'm streaming everything on PlayStation, and I'm a bit focused, perhaps a bit more on the special offers that we have. All of them are offered through the PlayStation app, so if you download it to your PC, to your Android phone or your tablet, you'll be able to access with ease all the special offers and everything. But before we get to PlayStation, today we'll do it the other way around, and we will start with Steam. So Steam are offering several titles which are very much of interest, and I have been examining them. For all of you that are familiar, PC games can be purchased directly through Steam. You have lots of old games that had proper work done in terms of patching, so when you purchase them, they can be easily played on your PC without any difficulties compared to the old physical products which you could have bought in CX or through eBay or any other forum. And also they offer them very good prices. The prices are variable and frequently change every day. So special offers could stay with you for anything from 24 to 72 hours. Some of those might be offered for a week, depending on what kinds of promotions they run. So you have to be coming back to Steam very frequently and basically examining everything they have on offer. So presently I've seen several games which are of interest. First of all, The Long Dark. They're offering it on the price of £5.94, which is a very low price for this game. As the game indeed has been drawing a lot of interest. It was produced last year, they incorporated, and they also published it. And The Long Dark is a thoughtful exploration survival experience that challenges solo players to think for themselves as they explore an expansive frozen wilderness in the aftermath of a geomagnetic disaster. So there are no zombies, but it's yourself, the cold, and the threat's mother. So basically, for what was the price I said? For the mere £5.94, you can enjoy all of that. And this is a weekend offer, which will end on the 12th of September, in other words on Monday. So if you're interested in this particularly interesting The Long Dark survival game, now's the time to buy. Ark, which has been very popular on all platforms, is offered on a 35% off price, which is the price of $22.74. And this is basically your Ark Survival Evolved Season Pass, so it includes several other bits. There are Ark Scorched Earth Expansion Pack, Ark Aberration Expansion Pack, and Ark Extinction Expansion Pack. So they're all very greatly reduced. You have one for £6, the other for £7.49, and the third one for £15.49. So altogether, the cost of this package, which is basically your season pass, is $22.74. Certainly a very good offer. We have Tyranny, and Tyranny is offered on a 50% off price. This price at the moment is only £11.18, and if you're buying a deluxe edition, then it's £15.49, or if you decide to buy the entire bundle, which is the golden edition, that will cost you £18.64, down by 67%. So I would very highly recommend to everyone to buy the gold bundle. In it you will have quite a few different games. You will have Tyranny, the base game, then Tales from the Tears, then Bastard's Wound, I beg your pardon, I shouldn't have said the word, Wound, Tyranny Deluxe Edition, Tyranny Official Soundtrack Deluxe, and Tyranny Your Portrait Pack. All of them are included, so this is really the best deal if you're interested in Tyranny. And as you know, publisher is Paradox Interactive, and the game was made by Obsidian Entertainment and Paradox Interactive. Basically, the Gold Edition is the ultimate experience and includes every Tyranny expansion and any additional DLC content. So the experience is story, which is sort of story-driven RPG, where your choices will mean all the difference in a world conquered by evil. So if you like the games where your choices cannot be repeated, so you will be very careful with your thoughts and with your directions and everything, this is definitely the one. So let's have a look at some other offers available. Through Steam, Klei is offering a weekend sale, lots of their games offered up to 80% off. So that's quite extraordinary. They're offering games like Don't Starve Hamlet on the price of $179, Early Access on $519, Don't Starve Together the Forge $439, Oxygen Not Included Space Industry $1424, a bit more expensive, Mark of the Ninja Remastered $1549, Darkest Dungeon $569, Crypt of the Necrodancer $219, Invisible Incorporated Tactical Espionage $374, Shank $179, Shank 2 $179, and Munchies $124. Lots of other bundles available as well. I will not go through all of them, but do remember the Klei publisher sale is available only this week, during this weekend, and it will end on Monday at 10 o'clock AM Pacific time. So hurry if you're interested in some of those games. You have Squad, which you can play basically for the entire weekend for free. And if you want to buy the games, you have Squad, Postscriptum and Onward, offer them 50% off. They will cost you $14.99 for Squad, $17.84 for Postscriptum, and $11.39 for Onward. Very enjoyable games and highly recommended. We have also some other interesting games. Well, some of them are not particularly cheap, but if you're interested in a good tactical war game, Command Ops 2 is definitely your first choice. Presently offered for free on Steam. You can download it with ease and then strategize. It's been quite popular, and it is a war game engine that will let you assess, plan, order and react at the operational level, just like a real corps, division and brigade commander. So you have to be planning your war. And what sets Command Ops 2 apart from the competition is the most advanced and realistic model of command. So for all of you who love strategy, definitely have a look whilst this game is still offered for free. Another game we quite like is War in the East, also a strategy game, but it is not offered on a discount, and the game is rather expensive, offered on the price of $60.99, and there's some extra DLC offered on $10.99 per DLC. Very, very popular game and very, very positively received by the fans. However, we are still to play the game. Another interesting war game is Decisive Campaigns, the Blitzkrieg from Warsaw to Paris, offered on $29.99. Men of War Assault Squad on $19.99 and Unity of Command on $14.99. We'll end our overview of Steam offers by introducing you to something that every member has, and it's called the Discovery Queue. So what is a Discovery Queue? Well, first of all, you need to be a member of Steam, which is for free. So you need to sign up and, you're basically a member. And after that, you will have to be exploring games, looking at different things on offer. And after a little while, you will get this queue. The queue will be basically examining what you like playing the best, what types of games you access most frequently, and the algorithm will choose those which are also offered through best bundles and special offers. So when you get to it, you just click, the queue opens, and you get usually anything between 10 to about 15 different games. So today we have several offered. Our first game on offer is The Mine Hero, and this game is offered for free. So principally, you can simply download and enjoy. Coming back to the game, it is very much like a graphic novel, with pop-ups and dialogue, and definitely check in. If I'm not mistaken, the second one on offer is the Overkill's The Walking Dead, and this is a 4-player co-op action FPS. It is not cheap. The base game costs £46.99, and then we have Deluxe Edition offered on £62.99, and downloadable content for £16.50. So if you are a fan of The Walking Dead, then definitely consider Football Manager 2019 offered on £37.99, Assassin's Creed Odyssey on £49.99, Maple Story 2 offered for free. So if you are a lover of MMORPG adventures, this is definitely one of the most enjoyable currently on offer for free. So Maple Story 2 and Chaos Raid update, so absolutely yes from our end here. Green Hell Animal update live as well. This is your early access game, and it costs $15.49. All of these are recommendations to me in my queue. Trails of Cold Steel offered on $17.99. So for you who are familiar with Thor's Military Academy, you will be able to learn everything with your characters if you purchase this game. Farming Simulator 19, another strategy game, very popular one, $29.99. Soul Calibur 6, as we said earlier in the news, not too well received despite its astonishing graphics and lots of adverts and massive marketing budget. I've not played the game, but I've heard some mixed reviews about it. If you'd be interested, offered on $49.99 and Deluxe Edition on even $74.99, so quite expensive really. At the moment we may just watch some Twitch streams to get more familiar with the gameplay and then consider. Then a very good strategy game as well, which has been very popular for quite a while, and we are having now the same game in remastered collection, and that is of course Homeworld. Have you played Homeworld? And if you did, then you would also like Mass Effect and Endless Space 2, both of which are very good games. So Homeworld Remastered Collection is $26.99, and if you were to buy them in bundle together with Deserts of Karak, you will get them for $42.73, and if you were to buy just Homeworld Remastered Collection Deluxe Edition, it will cost you $33.59. But I have to warn you, the strategy games of that type are very lengthy, they're very complicated, they require a lot of thinking and planning. So they're not like an FPS, we have to strategize about every single thing that you do in there. But if you are a fan of that sort of strategy, then Homeworld is definitely your best bet. We have The Scroll of Table, and that's an indie game based on Chinese mythology and wuxia tales. and if I'm not mistaken, this game is early access as well. 15.49. I don't know much about this game, but came to us on this recommendation queue, so you know we can obviously have a look at the trailers and consider whether it would be interesting to buy. And then NBA 2K19 as well, as we've seen earlier, quite a popular game, and $39.99 is the price. So we've come to the end of our queue. We have been quite satisfied with what we've seen on Steam today. Don't forget those wonderful offers which are currently available throughout the weekend, and hurry there if you're interested, and particularly if you are a PC gamer. And we'll just have a quick look if there's anything else that Steam is also offering. We have some games offered by the curators, so let's just have a look. They've introduced also some recommendations on popular VR games, and you know, there are quite a few obviously. Oh, I see they have Fear Effect as well. Fear Effect is a very good game. If anybody who played it, offered on $15.99. Far Cry 5 offered on $33.49. 2 Point Hospital $24.99. Not really providing special offers, but definitely all three are very, very good. Fear Effect in particular, all of you will be familiar with the game on PS, starting on PS1 and carrying on for quite a few years. And let's have a look. We have Thronebreaker: The Witcher Tales, offered on $23.39. So fairly new. And let's have a look at the specials that they're offering. We already looked at Long Dark and Ark Survival and Squad. Don't Starve Together is offered on $4.39. Another quite a good game. And the list just goes on and on. Total War Warhammer number 2, Curse of the Vampire, is offered on a price of $13.99. I don't know whether you guys like Leisure Suit Larry. $25.99. And we have these expansion packs for Ark, which we already talked about. The Shape-Shifting Detective, $7.99, and so on and so forth. So we are going to have a look at our PlayStation games now, and let's see what offers they have for us at the moment. Remember that I talked at length about the 70% offers, and they have been indeed very popular. I bought quite a few games there. That's really focused on the games which are more expensive, and as you are purchasing them together, you will get this incredible 70% offer deal. So I talked about Dragon Age Inquisition and Mass Effect Andromeda. That would have been costing me roughly £70, and I'm able to buy them on a price which is slightly less than 20. So let's have a look in the PlayStation Store. We have a nice spread in here, and let's see deals and offers. So let's have a look what they're offering on this particular package, which is 70% off. But there is another very, very good bit of news which I can mention to everybody who is on PlayStation. As we are all on PlayStation Plus, you would be aware that as from this Tuesday, we have been given 2 games for free, and both of those are very, very good. One is Bulletstorm, and the other is Yakuza. So if you haven't done so, please hurry, download them and keep them in your library. You can obviously install them whenever you like. These PlayStation Plus games, which are offered for free, are available for a limited time, and therefore it's important that you get them as soon as possible. We're just looking at the 70% off, but In fact, we are having all the same titles. There's nothing really new added to it. I guess Get Even, maybe a game that would be of interest to some. Don't know whether you're familiar, but this game has been very popular. And you have the Ice Cold Mercenary, who is awaking in a mysterious old asylum, and then he has no memory of his past. And under the guidance of his anonymous captor, who's called Red, this assassin Black embarks on a form of treatment facilitated by unique technology, and he gets a headset that allows the user to relive their memories and experience them again in the present. So in fact it's quite similar to Dreamfall Chapters, the game which we are going to be streaming within the next couple of weeks. And you know, looks like an interesting game. It's fairly expensive if you buy it individually, $24.99, but if you buy it together with another game, then you'll get it on 70% discount, so that will be just that you pay a fraction of the price. Quite a good game is also called Bound by Flame, and you know, these two together look like a you know, a very good bet. And the Bound by Flame game is basically a game where you're freely developing your abilities and combat style through 3 skill trees. You swing the heavy weapons of the fighter, wield the sneaky dual daggers of the ranger, or use the devastating flame spells on Pyromancer. So you can recruit companions who will live, love, hate, fight alongside you against the dreadful creatures of Vatil, and in real-time epic battles based on tactics and reaction. So if anyone who loves that sort of thing, the beasts, the mythical creatures, sword fights, well, Bound by Flame is your bet. So if you buy it together, Bound by Flame together with Get Even, you will pay only a fractional price. 70% off you'll get on that package. I've just seen the added Adam's Ventures. I'm not sure whether you guys are familiar with this game, but it's basically Adam's Venture Origins, which is reimaging of the Venture franchise, and basically it's streamlined and replotted to forge an engaging narrative, and Adam's Venture Origins reimagines the events of the first exploits of Adam Venture. So you get Brains of the Brawn, Adam's Venture, you have lots of clever puzzles, then you can jump into ancient mysteries and recover mysterious artifacts, breathtaking next generation visuals, traverse long forgotten tombs and crumbling cities using the new grappling hook, and then rich and involving storyline that weaves a surprising adventure with historical overtones. So, you know, for anybody who likes that sort of game, you'll have it here as Adam's Venture Origins, or indeed you can have it in a deluxe edition, which is a bit more expensive. Buying those two together will cost you roughly £7-8, which is really very, very little. Otherwise you'll be paying more than 30. So let's quickly have a look at some other offers, because these were 70% off for the 2 games. Let's see what the deal of the week is. Oh well, it's a very good one. Good job I have looked at it. Previously we've had Tekken offered as various kind of special editions. In this instance today we are having, well, for this week we are having Assassin's Creed Origins, a superb adventure game which is highly recommended to everyone. The full game will be costing you $24.99. The Assassin's Creed Deluxe will be costing you $29.99, and the Gold Edition will be costing you $50.99 compared to its price of $74.99. As you well know, the Gold Edition has everything and includes the game, the Deluxe pack and the Season Pass, giving you access to all major expansions. So obviously that's the best bet. You will be saving, let's have a look, what did we say, from 75 to 50, so you're literally saving 30%, and Deluxe Edition you'll be saving 50%, and for the Assassin's Creed Origins you'll be saving 50%. So, you know, it's the question of choice. If you want to play everything, if you are a huge Assassin's Creed fan, then obviously the Gold Edition is the best bet, and I would most highly recommend it. In addition to me giving you all this information, which sometimes is rather voluminous and hard to take on board, the best way to do it is just to scribble down a few notes, in your notepad, and then when I finish talking, you go to your console and just enter the titles of those games and go to the PlayStation or Xbox stores, and they get this they have this beautiful layout automatically giving you the trailer of a particular game and a lengthy description what you'll be getting, and that's the best way of following up on the news. After listening to me, you can just go on your console and double check those games that sound appealing, and you'll get the trailer. And in addition, on the PlayStation 4 console, you will also have a link which is automated to the current streams. So let's say the trailer looked appealing and you wanted to find out what's happening in the game. You just access the recent streams and you'll be able to see for yourself whether you like it or not, and whether obviously the price is justifying the game quality which is presently viewed. So, it's been a lengthy news broadcast. We've had lots of news coming in from all angles and from all ends. We are very happy that the weekend ahead is going to be a proper, big, massive gaming weekend. We really look forward to it. We absolutely look forward to PUBG being offered on Xbox for free, 48 hours. We look forward to the conference and all the razzmatazz in Mexico City with Microsoft and Xbox. We look forward to their Inside Xbox news bulletin. That's the news bulletin as the program, if you wanted, tomorrow night. We look forward to all the special deals and offers on Steam. And overall, we're looking forward to a very nice, relaxing, wonderful, communicative, greatly engaging gamers weekend. After this news bulletin, we'll have a short break of about 20 minutes, and after that, we will continue with our exploration of the Destiny world. Tonight, we are going to have our Destiny 2. I've played some adventures and I completed some quests, and maybe tonight, if some of you community members are interested, we'll do a strike or two, which we've not done so far on Destiny 2 at all. And indeed, doing a couple of strikes there would be of interest. Destiny 1 in the course of this week has been all about the strikes. I've had a lot of cooperative play, and I'm very grateful to all of my community members for coming in and racing through some of those missions with me. And we had a lot of good fun and a lot of good time. Some of the missions were very, very difficult because the mods have changed the abilities of the enemy. One in particular was insanely difficult. Myself and a colleague, a community member from the US, had fought it together for quite some time, but eventually we prevailed and brought it to a successful conclusion, which meant our victory. And so it shall continue tonight, and I will wish you all a very, very good, happy, restful evening tonight, and indeed a great gaming weekend to follow. So hope to see you all a bit later for our Destiny 2 broadcast. I wish you all a very good night.